Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Comedy Cellar podcast. We're here at the back table of the Comedy Cellar, and we're joined this week, in addition to our regular co-host, Miss Kristin Montella, we have Dan Naturman.
Thank you.
We have Sherrod Small.
That's right, you do.
I should read from Sherrod. It says in Wikipedia was born and raised.
No, go from the heart. No, what do you mean Wikipedia?
This is what I do.
You know me. What are you talking about? Wikipedia? You got to explain who I am. You're the worst.
He was raised by his mother and two sisters. You were raised by your mother and two sisters?
You know me, no.
A regular on...
you met my mother and two sisters. You're the worst.
Okay. The equipment is overloading.
I can see this show is not personal.
I have to set it to black. And...
It's African American.
Hold on, Rosalyn. And he's Sherrod is a regular on VH1 Best Week Ever, as well as Fox News' late night satire program Red Eye with Greg Gutfeld, which I do love, and you're fantastic on. And we're joined by my ex-girlfriend and very talented musician, Miss Rosalyn McClore. Before we get into anything else, Dan had asked if we could say a few words about Patrice, which is certainly appropriate because he was such a fixture down here, and we're all.
Well, I just thought I suggested it was only natural to talk about a loss that the comedy community has suffered this week, which affected everybody on various levels. Patrice O'Neal, Malcolm Lumumba O'Neal, I believe was his full name.
Malcolm, yeah.
Passed this week at the age of 41 years old.
Naturman, thanks for being on top of it.
Wait a minute. He was born in 1969. Oh, he was born in December
Stop
69.
doing the math and be a friend.
You're going to speak from the heart, or you're going to recount the...
He's doing what you just did for me.
The Wikipedia version.
Let me guess, he was raised by his two sisters and mother, right?
Oh, yeah. He is
born in a Boston...
Born in New York. He was born in New York, and then
he was born in Boston.
Raised in Boston. Raised in Roxbury.
I think of all the tributes to Patrice this week, Dan, this was the most.
Patrice will be missed. He'll be missed. He was the greatest. He was funny as hell. He was unique, and he'll be missed.
Now,
Dan, go ahead. You got something you wanted to say? No.
I don't know if I have anything I want to say specifically, but I did not go to the funeral, and you had asked me why.
Oh, why didn't you go to the funeral?
Oh, okay.
Out of respect for Patrice, and let me explain.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, you don't have to explain.
No, explain it. I want to hear it.
Because I think I didn't know Patrice very well. I very much respected his comedy. Thought he was very funny. But he wasn't my friend. And I believe there's a point at which, and I don't know if I had crossed that point or not, but I think there's a point at which you don't know somebody. Going to a funeral becomes voyeuristic.
Right.
And it's not, no. I didn't feel the need for closure because we didn't have a relationship.
Right. I went. I was there. We had a relationship. It was great.
But I didn't feel I had a relationship, and
I can understand that, though.
And I wanted to go because I thought it would have been interesting. But you don't go to a funeral because it's interesting.
No, you go because you're part of the community that Patrice was a part of.
And that's a valid point, and I weighed the two. But I said to and this is what broke the tie, I said if Patrice would have come back to life and popped out of that casket
and saw
me, he would have said, Naturman.
Would Patrice have gone to your funeral?
I doubt it.
No, all right.
I doubt it.
He would have probably. I don't think he would have gone to mine. I
don't think you would have went to Naturman's funeral.
Of course I would.
Would you? Would you pay for it? Because he deserves that.
I had mixed feelings here because Patrice had a.
No, you had to go, Noam.
I had, of course, and I wanted to go, but he had a rocky relationship.
Why didn't you come to the Caroline's after party, the dinner?
Because my wife is pregnant and she was hungry. That's true, and she was.
They had food as the dinner.
No, but she wasn't feeling good. She couldn't come to the funeral.
You know, if you go into Caroline's, your flesh will burn.
I've been to Caroline's.
You can't go to other comedy clubs.
Same as if you went in a church. No, I look at that from, I didn't know him either personally. I mean, we spoke, said hi a few times. I think he knew my name. Hi, Patrice. Hi, Rosalyn. But I looked at his passing, his premature passing, as just a really bad problem we have in the black community of. He didn't have to die. That's how I looked at him. Like, you're overweight, you have hypertension, diabetes, all of that stuff, and it seems like a problem that he could have handled. I mean, a long time ago, you're really heavy, and what that means, in terms of your health and everything. And I just thought it was a loss that didn't have to happen. That's the way I looked at it. You know.
Yeah.
Is it okay for her to say that?
Shut up. She's black.
No, really, it's a
If you would have
problem.
said it, I would have punched you in your face.
We're all just actually waiting for Rosalyn to say that.
Yeah, I don't know enough. I don't know enough about diabetes to challenge her on it.
Well, you know you're not supposed to be that fat.
I know you don't supposed to be that way.
enough
But I
about
know football
diabetes to know
players
you're
are
not
that
supposed
weight.
to have it.
No,
If you have
You don't know-
diabetes,
wait,
you're supposed to keep
I
your
know
weight down.
football players are the bigger
They
than
don't have
Patrice.
diabetes, probably.
Okay, no, I
And
can
football
understand that, but
players don't have a long lifespan.
They don't live long, no.
They don't. live
And
long.
Patrice was a football player. If y'all knew anything about him,
I have it
he
right
played
here.
in high school and college. So
He played.
But he wasn't in college or high school anymore.
right, but they still, he could have controlled everybody. But that's a
Yeah.
big problem in America, not just in black community. Just everybody is like diabetes and overweight.
And I'll tell you another problem in the comedy community, and we've had several losses over a very brief period of time. But comics may not be the most healthy people in the world, generally speaking.
Yes.
Your lifestyle
The
doesn't.
lifestyle,
Lifestyle, psychological
You mean
issues.
performing in nightclubs every night? Is not a good lifestyle choice?
Yeah, you're not going to go for a jog
longevity.
in the morning.
I'm a musician, so I understand that.
Yes.
But even though I have a
And-
gorgeous figure, but
I'm not sure Patrice had health insurance.
Longevity has its
He had health
place.
insurance. He was in SAG and AFTRA and all that. Of course he did.
You don't normally think of comedians being a rock star type, a lifestyle where people die young, but a lot of comedians have been dying. And
Oh yeah, a lot of comedians die
Yeah.
young.
who's
Yeah.
next?
Somebody wait, hopefully.
nice.
I didn't feel like a punch to the stomach, didn't it? No?
We took two.
I have thoughts about who's next, but I always feel like if I say it, it's bad luck, because then I'll be next. Like that Twilight Zone with the button that you push.
Oh yeah.
You know,
have
where they
thoughts
say if
about
you
who might
push
be
the
next?
button. Well, of course you can't help but have
Say it,
thoughts.
go ahead.
You can't help it. If I say
No,
it,
you
then
can't.
I
They're
put
gonna
the,
die.
I put the malachi on me.
Okay, now
Did you notice
so
he said he
Jewish.
didn't feel
Now,
bad
this
that
is-
he says it and it happens, he'll feel bad. He feels bad that he'll say it and he'll be next.
Well, I feel it's bad luck to say that somebody's going to die.
I want to say a couple things about Patrice. First of all, so I was torn about. I knew I had to go because because I own the Comedy Cellar and he had a relationship with the place. Yet I was torn because. I don't think he would have gone to my funeral. I don't know if he. I mean,
At the end of the day, y'all barely tolerated each other.
No, we didn't have a bad. My father had a bad relationship.
Okay,
with him.
yeah.
I never had a bad relationship. I liked him and I saw him, and then I thought to myself, the comedians all adored this guy because he would never do anything he didn't feel. He didn't give a shit what anybody thought about. He'd tell everybody "fuck you," and I said
He wouldn't tell them "fuck you." He just tell them about themselves.
And then I
people don't like that.
But if I didn't go to the funeral. Do you think they would admire any of those qualities in me? Like,
No,
no,
because we're not in the same trenches.
No, they wouldn't admire the fact that I didn't do it because I didn't, that I didn't feel pressure to do it. I didn't care what other people thought about me. They'd be like, oh, he needs.
Maybe Richie Tinkin would say that about you because y'all like fellow owners. But
Who's Richie Tinkin?
The owner of the comic strip. Maybe the owners would speak about you like that. Maybe the guys from the.
Did you mention? What the hell is the matter with you?
Right.
Jesus Christ.
It's a great funeral.
Are we?
Let's move on to something else. What was your topics? You
paid
gonna talk about dead people all day?
Natterman had something else he wanted to talk about. Has been on his mind.
This is not the Natterman show.
Okay, Natterman was also your mind.
He's the smart one.
Well, I just had some topics that he's told me to come up with topics.
He
so I
wanted
came up with
to.
topics.
He wanted to talk about. Should we talk about? Well, I want to wait till Godfrey gets here. Godfrey's supposed to be
Did you
here.
check your Twitter? Because I'm sure people send in questions from Twitter because I
it's not-
retweeted it.
And Godfrey is late.
I got
of course.
15,000 Twitter people.
That was good.
I'm sure
Dan wanted to talk about the sexual tension of being a comedian around all the waitresses at the.
Well, not the waitresses here as much anymore because y'all are dipping. Y'all dipping on what y'all
Are you
pulling in
crazy?
here.
The waitresses have gotten so much hotter since Not
You're
left.
nuts.
We had a
since Not left. Yes, I give you that. I give you that.
We had a manager who used to hire waitresses, and it was my father.
Yes, Not left, but
it
the
was
one-
mirror on
Yes,
the wall.
it was much I used to always have a nice monthly stash over here when your father was hiring.
Shouldn't we have a waitress to discuss this with us? Wouldn't that be more appropriate?
I don't think they want to hear this side of what we think about.
Then you'd have to say whether they were hot or not.
Yeah, then
But here's the thing with the ones that are not hired. They don't leave.
They don't leave. That's true. They stay forever.
So we got to deal with the same ones. Either fuck these or don't fuck.
I've never had sex with a standing waitress. That is to say, a waitress currently
working
in the line of in
had
office,
sex- you
if
had
you
sex
will.
with a former waitress?
I had sex with a former waitress.
Which one?
Well, I don't think it's no. What am I now? Come on.
We'll describe her. See if we.
I'll describe her as she's a former waitress. That's all I will say.
That's right.
I really want to know who it is.
Take the high road.
Well, I will tell you.
Take the high road.
Does anybody know who Naturman screwed?
I didn't screw her. I didn't screw her. She gave me
a BJ.
Oh, really? Don't tell me.
That's not sex.
Yeah.
A manual manipulation.
A manual manipulation.
Oh, hand job.
Hand job.
She was a hoe.
She's just trying to get rid of you.
Why is she a hoe if she gave me a hand job and not if we had sex? You think it's hoier to give a hand job?
Yeah,
nice girls
because
fuck.
what did she get out of it?
A hand
Say
job?
what she gets
She
out of
got
a
rid of him.
magnificent penis.
That's what it is. Like, oh, Dan, just leave me alone.
Your penis is that
He has a nice mule.
magnificent.
He has a nice mule. I've seen it.
Because have you really seen it, Sherrod?
Yeah, I've seen it at
when?
At Dove's house. It was a scene. It was a scene.
At Dove's house?
No, I never. You never saw my penis at Dove's
I saw your
house.
penis, money. I saw your penis.
Wow.
I've heard this.
I'm not going to make up me seeing somebody's penis.
What does she get out of it? She gets a lot of women like to give. A lot of women like to give pleasure. You know.
Yeah.
All right, moving on from non-Natterman.
All right, Montella has something in it for me today. She sat down. She had from the moment she sat down,
She's angry?
the moment her butt hit that bench there, she had it in for Dan Natterman.
I tell you what the problem is with her.
She wants to sleep with you.
Well, that's the only conclusion that I can come up with. I don't think it seems to make any sense.
Anyway, did you guys see?
We're moving.
Did you guys see? Sherrod,
I'm listening.
Did you guys see the Herman Cain resignation speech?
First of all, speaking of knowing how to hire women, Herman Cain. He's a mess.
Yeah.
And that poor wife, oh, God.
Did you see when he quoted the Pokemon movie?
No, he did not.
The end of his speech is something he says, and I believe it was in the Pokemon movie where they said, and then he quoted like 5 or 6 lines from the last stanza of the closing song in Pokemon.
Oh, my
about
God.
how you should stick with life and never...
You know what? The Republicans really did try to get their own Obama. But
it's very sad.
He came up short, didn't he?
Yeah, and I'm Republican, and so I look at this the kinds of people that they are trying to make their own Obama. That Michael Steele guy, he was just they're just they're really clowns, and I didn't keep up with this Cain guy until he resigned and everybody said,
he makes good pizza. You're missing out, Ross. He makes a good slice.
He can't possibly make good pizza.
He can make a good slice, that dude.
Oh my God, this guy. Did you see his wife when he said when these allegations came up, I owned up to them right away, and they put the camera right on her, and she rolled her eyes like, yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, she can't be happy with what's going on here.
Yeah, he's
I think women in the black community are a little more tolerant of men who...
Really? You think that?
Yeah.
The governor of Jersey, the senator here, all those white dudes who cheated on their wife, their wife is standing right next to him in a press conference.
That's a lifestyle choice thing.
Black people not...
It's not a color thing, because the women in those positions... No, it's not.
Love.
It's a lifestyle. Do I want to give up my lifestyle? Do I want to give... They keep their mouth shut. To just like Hillary.
Well, yeah, if you're a broke dude, though, you out.
Yeah, if you broke, you out.
If you broke, you out.
If you broke, you out. Like I said, lifestyle, If you can tolerate how many women they're sleeping with, they all do it.
Yeah, and plus, half of these women don't want them home up on top of them in the first place. You think Herman Cain's wife want to bang Herman Cain?
How do you know that?
Go out and get your things and your rocks off and come home.
Herman Cain had an amazing biography. I think his mother was a cleaning lady.
Ooh. Whack-a-dack-a-doo. Shut up with your inspiring black stories.
This is exactly my...
Shut up.
You actually hit your nail. This is exactly the point I'm getting to. His mother was a cleaning lady. He was a self-educated, self-made man. He went to Morehouse College, and he went to graduate school. He was a ballistics expert for the Navy or something. He majored in math, and nobody cared because he was a Republican. If he had been a black...
Nobody cared before that because he was black.
If he had been a liberal, they would have had, beautiful montages of his life with sentimental music behind and what a role model he is and everything. They totally dismissed the guy and his biography.
With all those accomplishments, you know what a white dude in a Southcore Herman Cain? A nigga.
I don't find that funny.
It's true.
No, you weren't joking.
So you saying because Republican blacks didn't acknowledge any of his accomplishments?
Black community.
Who's the black community? Where? Who? Because you heard Al Sharpton say it?
All right, Rosalyn, I'll let you handle this one. Go ahead.
No, the black... I think... I didn't know this about him because I didn't keep up with him.
Well,
but
and because nobody spoke about it.
I'm the black community.
You didn't know it.
Of course, I didn't know it. Of course, I knew it.
I can tell by the way your face when I was
Wait, but
when
are
you
you
listening
saying
to me
that
that
only
you were
black
hearing it for the
people
first
didn't care
time.
I was
about his
surprised you were
biography,
reading
or
it.
across the board in general?
I'm
Black
saying
people
that
don't care about black Republicans.
that's right.
They don't.
Nobody was.
But
Well,
he's
here's
saying
the thing. Here's the